Are you looking for the best laptops 2024? In this video we will look at some of the 4 best laptops on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Razer Blade 14. Razer is known for its high-end gaming laptops, and the slim, aluminum chassis on the Razer Blade 14, 8 out of 10, Wired recommends, has the same luxe build quality we've liked it for in the past. The star of the show is the bright and vivid 2560 by 1600 IPS, G-Sync compatible display with blacks so dark it almost felt like the screen disappeared in dark rooms. It's not quite an OLED display, but it was close enough that it fooled me for hours of flying through space. Best of all, the 240Hz panel supports ultra-high frame rates for the smoothest gameplay. Inside, the Blade 14 comes equipped with the powerful AMD Ryzen 9 7940Hs, 16GB of DDR5 RAM, a 1TB NVMe SSD, and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 laptop GPU, upgradable to an RTX 4070. The RTX 4060 is decently powerful, but the RTX 4070 is a respectably strong GPU that can help power through even demanding games like Starfield. If you want even more power and don't mind the heft, check out the Razer Blade 18, 8/10, Wired recommends. See our full guide to gaming laptops for more picks. At number 2. Apple MacBook Pro, M3 Max, 16-inch. If you're an Apple user looking for more power, the MacBook Pro has always been the place to turn. The 14-inch model can be configured with the entry-level M3 chip, replacing the 13-inch MacBook Pro, which Apple no longer sells through its store. The 16-inch can be paired with the M3 Pro or M3 Max. Both feature Apple's mini LED screens, providing deeper blacks and rich color like on the 2022 iPad Pro, with a 120Hz refresh rate for smoother-looking interactions. You also once again get a variety of ports, including 3 USB-C ports with Thunderbolt 4, the 14-inch version with M3 has just 2, an SD card slot, a headphone jack, an HDMI port, and a MagSafe charging port. Of the 3 processor choice options, the M3 Pro and M3 Max are significantly more powerful than most people need. If you're not editing 4K videos or rendering 3D models, you probably don't need the top-end chips. We do recommend going for 16GB of unified memory though, as you can't upgrade that after the fact. At number 3. LG Gam 15.6-inch Super Slim. The LG Gam Super Slim, 7 out of 10, Wired recommends, retains its spot as our favorite large laptop, and how could it not? It's impossibly thin, just 15mm thick including the elevating standoffs underneath the chassis, and all of 2.2 pounds in weight. Despite that thin, light frame, it manages to be a solid machine. The only difference between models is the amount of RAM and storage. The CPU, a 2.2 GHz Intel Core i7-1360p, remains the same no matter which one you opt to get. There is a trade-off to be made for that thinness, performance. On business apps, the Gam scored lower than the $700 Asus above, and it wasn't much better on graphics performance. Still, that ultra-bright 15.6-inch screen is a joy to use, and the fans are so quiet you barely notice them. We also managed an excellent 10.5 hours out of the Gam's battery on a full brightness YouTube playback, which is impressive considering the luminosity of the screen. At number 4. Apple MacBook Air, 13 and 15-inch, 2024. Apple's latest MacBook Air, 7 out of 10, Wired recommends, with the company's M3 chip as our favorite MacBook. It's a sleek, portable machine with plenty of power for the average person. There are 2 sizes to pick from, 13 and 15 inches, both screens with a 60Hz refresh rate. They are very similar, though we found the larger model had better battery life. The 15-inch is the first lower-priced MacBook with a large screen, and having all that screen real estate is fantastic for productivity. The display is easy on the eyes too, with a solid 1080p webcam sitting right above the notch. The 15-inch also features a slightly louder 6-speaker sound system, but these machines are otherwise the same. Battery life remains ahead of the competition, and macOS performance is breezy for everyday tasks like web browsing and document editing. You'll notice some stuttering here and there if you push your devices hard with demanding apps. If you plan to do more photo or video editing, bump the unified memory to 16 GB instead of 8 GB. It's a fanless design, so these will never sound like you're sitting in a jet, but this Mac does tend to run warm. One big downside? It can only connect to one external monitor, which means no dual monitor setup for you.